Hello everybody, I am Alessandra Bagnato from Softeam Software Research Division, and I'm here today to talk to you about one Horizon 2020 project called MORPHEMIC, and of course clouds, and the approach of this project in the open source, which is one of our pillar in this project. MORPHEMIC will solve the problem about cloud computing resources according to two big principles that are advanced polymorphic and proactive approach. The cloud application modeling is at the basis of the project, and with MORPHEMIC we aim to simplify it, and thanks to that, to continuously optimize and morph the deployment model and to take at best advantage of the cloud. MORPHEMIC is an extension of another multi-cloud platform that is called Melodic, that comes from another Horizon 2020 project, and it provides a single universal platform that facilitates and optimizes the deployment and management of the application. What we want to do is to try to be reactive to changing execution context in our applications, and to balance the cost, the performance, and what we need from our application. MORPHEMIC will provide this ability to adapt, and will also provide some forecasting for the future needs. The project is an European project, as I was saying. It involves 12 partners from 7 different countries, 2 of them based in France, which is always good. And we aim to optimize, as I say, the cloud computing. You can find all the information also on the website that is on this slide. And the project is based itself on open source technology. The Melodic multi-cloud platform that I mentioned already is an European research project, and the source code are found in our OW2 repository. Same for Proactive, that is another open source technology on which we based our work. So the open source is at the very core of the project and one of the guiding principles for our exploitation and for our developers. I will tell you also something more at the end of the presentation on how to contribute to this nice effort. As I said, the polymorphic architecture is one of the ambition and the solution that we want to propose. So we want to propose to change the technical form virtual machine, container, serverless component for the basic needs and utility that has been expressed by the application users. And we do that through a camel specification that we will see much more in detail, that is done through modeling. The other very important core concept is the proactive adaptation. We want to adapt to the changing execution context and to provide some prediction. So we want to anticipate some kind of peak of usage of our application. For example, we can of course foresee that around Christmas, for an application that sells some interesting goods, there may be a peak, and so they may be wanting to increase their cloud resources. On the contrary, when the peak has gone, it is maybe not needed to pay the same amount if there is not that peak of needs. That is where we want to help. So giving this forecasting will help, of course, to manage the cost, which can be very, very high for the cloud, as we all in this room probably know. And this is what the project does in its research part. MORPHEMIC will offer, at the end of the project, a deployment platform that will help this cross-cloud approach. And we'll have some real-time monitoring to follow up all the parameters that we have mentioned before. And the modeling language behind this is the Cloud Application Modeling and Execution Language that was already used by the Melodic project. Within this project, we have different use cases. One of them is from eBrain Sciences for neuroimaging, and then we have 5G software, and then we have computational fluid dynamics, all of them using intensively cloud resources. Those are just examples, but MORPHEMIC is aiming to propose this result to all data and computational intensive organization. So organizations that are already using clouds, but that need to optimize their existing cloud architecture and resources. So this is the context where the project can offer its results. And of course, we base these results on our already existing platform that is melodic, that is already delivered by another project, and we build on top of that the nice, interesting polymorphic adaptation and adapting of the resources. We use the proactive scheduler that allows us to use different public cloud, private cloud, edge nodes. And in this case, we have the help of the proactive scheduler developed by Proactive, that is partner of the project with Activeon. And it's the single point that dialogues with the upperware. That is the point that make the decision and that is managed to talk to the real infrastructure. So this is about the two components that are open source that I mentioned before. The technical challenge is to use MORPHEMIC as preprocessor for melodic. We have in the project many research challenges that we are solving in this very month. So we have this forecasting module that of course will give the information that we aim to better have a cost analysis for the future cost that we may have. And then we want to support self-healing capability, and we have more security improvement. The project, as I said before, as to start this optimization loop, starts from a camel model. And in here, it comes my company, SoftTeam, design with the Modelio modeling tool. SoftTeam builds the Camel Designer, the cloud application modeling and execution language visual design tool that is based on Modelio. The version that we offer with MORPHEMIC is open source, and I will send you the details to download everything. In here you can see some very brief elements on what you can define. You can have the requirement for your cloud. You can have some information on the infrastructure you prefer, on the location you prefer, and we will go on also with some example. And let's say that with this modeling language, the needs of your application are all expressed, so the number of core, the number of everything that you want to express, the location where your components, where you wish your component to be, and all the elements that can be expressed. The language is quite complete, and it derives from efforts from many European projects that have come before. So it's really an effort that is going on, and with the MORPHEMIC project, it will be further improved to better allow this element, research element that have to be included. To give you some more precise example on how this can be done, I will cite one of our use cases, and the ES wireless use cases, where we want to adaptively utilize this 5G software radio access network in a cloud and hybrid environment. So in here, you will see that we want the location of the component to be determined. And in this case, we have the constraint that we want the deployment to be done in Poland, being ES Wireless, a Polish company. And also we have some constraint on the requirement. We have 5 at minimum number of cores and 2 of the number of gigabyte for the RAM. And also we want that the application average availability should be at least 99.999%. So this constraint, we are able to model this constraint in our Camel Designer and in our Camel modeling language. So in here you can see the components that are part of these context use case, and the constraints that I've mentioned before included in the modeling tool. This is of course a great help because the designer, the DevOps designer, are able to have a complete tool where they can tackle all these different elements that that needs to be considered. Also, different stakeholders for the model can be included in the work in this module, because of course many different expertise may be needed to build such a model in the best way. We may have constraints that are more related to the business, constraints that are more related to the hardware part, to the physical world. In here, you have some other example of the availability of our application that can be modeled in the camel design, and these kind of constraints that are related to the communication latency and the throughput. In here, you see, as well, of course, it's a XMI example, what comes behind this camel designer module and what actually goes within all the optimization and forecasting of MORPHEMIC. So a complex XMI file that is created with a modeling tool that helps, of course, a lot for that. I just added in here some of the requirements to show you that can be included. And with this file given to the MORPHEMIC platform, all the information that has been decided can be used and utilized by the rest of the platform. To tell you about of course, the open source approach that we have, for which we are very happy to be here today, the cloud application modeling with the camel designer can be found on GitHub, on the Modelio Research and Development Team GitHub. You can go just to Modelio R&D, camel designer, and you can use it and plug this module to the modelio.org modeling tool. That is very, very easy to be done, and you will find on this GitHub all the wiki, all the information that might be needed for you to play with it. And of course, you are very welcome to submit any issue, any feature that you might wish, and also, of course, any suggestion. We will be very happy to have feedback from you on that. If you need any information and if you need any further help, I can just give you my card later, or you can write to me and I will help with anything you may need. Of course, the open source approach and the open source community is not only for the camel designer, is for the whole project. So, as the previous melodic, the source code of MORPHEMIC are hosted, are on our OW2 repository that you may of course know. You have the direct URL if you wish to have a look, and of course it will be more than welcome any contribution, any help, and any feedback on this work. And if you want to join us to extend this platform and to participate to this great multi-cloud proactive project, you are very welcome to check the source code and to contribute, and of course keep in touch with the team, and we will be very happy to help you with anything you might be interested in. And also another interesting activity that we are doing right now that might be nice if you have some interest in the camel designer is to join our MORPHEMIC Reach Out beta testing campaign on Modelio Camel Designer. So this campaign is open till the end of this month, and you can reach it at the Reach Out project. I think this slide will be available later, but in case you have the direct URL in here, and if you go to the Reach Out website, you can find the information. So the approach has been like that. We have, for the Modelio Camel Designer, we have the source code in our GitHub. You can find it in here, and you need to use the Modelio modeling tool that is available at modelio.org. Well, the Modelio modeling tool, of course, does also other things. You can model UML, you can model many other profiles, SysML, Marte, SUML, many different things. So it is also a tool that can be used to support other modeling efforts. But in here, of course, you will have the camel designer, and you may see if you want to join this modeling with other modeling that are available for Modelio.org. In here you have some little slide on what is the beta testing campaign that we are organizing with Reach Out. There are some incentives that might be nice. The best tester will get also a money prize, and you can get all the information and all the steps that might also be interesting to you if you want to use the Camel Designer, if you want to join the effort, the open source effort there, because of course it's a step-by-step guide for performing these tests, and it has all the information with all the precise URL to download everything. So I really suggest, if you are interested, to try that out, this first step for this multi-cloud project, to try that out. There are also other collaborations that we are carrying out that you can find in the MORPHEMIC website, in the clustering. Of course, we are involved in with all the other Horizon 2020 cloud project with the H Cloud initiative, and many other. And you can have a look at all of that. And of course, the Reach Out for this beta testing campaign that for open source developer might be very nice. So in case also you have contact that might be like to participate, to be in the Hall of Fame of Reach Out, or also to gain some prize, of course, don't hesitate to share it. So that is all from me. You have in here my contact detail, of course the Twitter account. We are on Twitter for our MORPHEMIC project, and my contact details if you want to ask me anything. And so thank you very much for your attention, and also in every possible language I found. Merci beaucoup.
Have you planned to adapt this model to a Kubernetes or more containers-based model?
Yes. We have been thinking about that. Of course, that is a research project, so we have to comply to our, let's say, roadmap. And of course, as you can imagine, in research project, the research takes a very big, important part, and frame all the life of the project. But of course, we consider and we know about that, and we take that into account. Yeah.
No more question? Okay.
Thank you very
again.
much.